Have you ever walked into your bedroom at night, ready to relax, but instead of feeling calm, your mind feels restless? Maybe there are clothes draped over a chair, books stacked on the nightstand, or old boxes pushed into the corner. You think you're going in there to rest, but instead, your eyes and brain can't stop scanning the clutter. And before you know it, you're lying in bed, wide awake, with thoughts racing instead of drifting into a peaceful sleep. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many people over 60 find that sleep doesn't come as easily as it used to. And sometimes the problem isn't our body, it's our bedroom environment. Our bedrooms are supposed to be a sanctuary, a place where we can recharge after a long day. But often, they become storage areas filled with decades of belongings, half-finished projects, and reminders of things we should be doing. That's where minimalism can make a huge difference. And I want to be clear, minimalism doesn't mean living in an empty room with nothing but a mattress on the floor. It simply means creating a space with fewer distractions, where everything that remains has a purpose and supports your peace of mind. A minimalist bedroom can help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more refreshed. Imagine walking into a bedroom that feels light, spacious, and calming, a room that almost whispers, "It's time to rest." In this video, we're going to explore how to create that kind of bedroom for yourself. I'll share practical ideas you can use right away, stories that might sound a little like your own, and gentle steps you can take without feeling overwhelmed. By the end, you'll see that designing a minimalist bedroom isn't about getting rid of everything you love. It's about making room for what really matters: your health, your peace, and your sleep. So let's begin where it all starts, clearing out what doesn't belong. Think about this. Your bedroom's main purpose is to give you rest. Yet many of us treat it like an extra storage closet. Maybe you've got boxes of old photos stacked under the bed, exercise equipment you rarely use in the corner, or piles of paperwork on the dresser. All of those things carry mental weight, even if you don't realize it. You see the treadmill and feel guilty for not using it. You glance at the papers and remember tasks left undone. Your mind doesn't switch off because the room is filled with little reminders that keep it switched on. The first step toward a peaceful, minimalist bedroom is asking, does this object help me sleep better? Or does it pull my attention somewhere else? If it doesn't help you rest, it doesn't belong in the bedroom. That might sound like a big project. But don't worry, it doesn't have to happen in one day. You can start small. For example, clear off your nightstand tonight. Just keep a lamp, a book you're actually reading, and maybe a glass of water. That's it. When you go to bed and look over, you won't see a cluttered pile. You'll see a simple, clean space that tells your brain, relax, there's nothing to worry about here. The next day, maybe tackle the chair in the corner where clothes pile up. Decide, do these clothes go back in the closet or in the laundry? Step by step, you'll feel the room getting lighter. Now, once you've made space, the next important point is choosing what stays. And this is where minimalism becomes personal. Your bedroom doesn't need to be bare, it should feel inviting, soothing, and like you. For many people, that means focusing on quality over quantity. Instead of several mismatched blankets, choose one or two that feel soft and comforting. Instead of 10 decorative pillows that end up on the floor each night, maybe just 2 that truly support you while you sleep. Think of it as curating your space rather than stripping it down. You're keeping the best, the most meaningful, and letting go of the extras that add more work than comfort. One woman I spoke with, she's 72, told me she used to have 4 bookshelves in her bedroom, filled with novels she'd collected over the years. Every night she would look at them and feel overwhelmed, thinking about all the books she hadn't read yet. When she decided to move most of them to another room and just keep a small basket with 2 or 3 on her nightstand, she said her mind instantly felt lighter. She was no longer reminded of unfinished goals. Instead, she had just enough to enjoy without pressure. That's the power of minimalism. It removes the noise and leaves you with calm. After deciding what stays, let's talk about creating an atmosphere that supports rest. This goes beyond clutter. It's about how your senses experience the room. The colors on the walls, the texture of the bedding, the lighting, these small details affect how quickly you fall asleep and how deeply you rest. Many people over 60 find that softer, neutral tones like gentle blues, warm beiges, or calming greens create a soothing effect. Harsh, bright colors can be stimulating. And even if you don't notice it consciously, your body responds. The same goes for lighting. A bright overhead light can jolt your system awake, while a warm lamp with a soft bulb gently signals that it's time to wind down. Creating a minimalist bedroom is really about creating a sensory environment that whispers rest into your body. And don't underestimate the power of air and sound. A cluttered bedroom often traps dust, which can make breathing uncomfortable at night. By clearing surfaces and simplifying what's in the room, you not only make cleaning easier, but you also improve the air you breathe while sleeping. Some people even find that adding a simple air purifier or opening the window for a few minutes before bed makes the room feel fresher and more inviting. As for sound, fewer distractions in the room means less noise bouncing around. You can even add something soothing, like a small fan or a sound machine with gentle white noise, to block out disturbances and help your brain settle. As you can see, this isn't just about tidying up, it's about designing an environment that works with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them. Your bedroom should be the one place in your home where your mind and body both know exactly what's expected: rest, renewal, and peace. And by simplifying the space, you're actually telling yourself, every night, you deserve this time to relax. Now that you've started to imagine your bedroom as a calmer, cleaner space, let's talk about one of the most important elements of all, the bed itself. It might sound obvious, but your bed is the centerpiece of the room, both visually and physically. It takes up the most space, and it's where you spend nearly a third of your life. Yet many of us end up holding on to old mattresses, lumpy pillows, or heavy blankets that don't truly support our bodies anymore. Over time, those things make a huge difference in how well we sleep, especially as we age and our bodies become more sensitive to discomfort. Think about your mattress for a moment. How long have you had it? If it's more than 10 years old, chances are it's not giving you the support you need. Maybe you notice a dip in the middle, or you wake up with stiffness in your back or hips. A minimalist approach means choosing quality over excess, and that applies to the bed too. Instead of adding layers of toppers, multiple pillows, or extra padding to make up for an old mattress, consider investing in one good, supportive mattress that suits your body now. And the same goes for pillows. You don't need a mountain of them, just one or two that actually cradle your head and neck properly. The goal is to make your bed feel like an invitation to sleep, not a puzzle you have to arrange every night before you can lie down. Once you've addressed the bed itself, the next step is to think about what surrounds it. Nightstands, dressers, even the artwork on the walls, all of these things affect how your brain processes the space. A minimalist bedroom works best when every item has both a function and a sense of calm. For example, a nightstand that holds a small lamp, a glass of water, and maybe one meaningful photo can feel grounding and simple. But when that same nightstand is buried under piles of magazines, extra remotes, or half-finished crossword puzzles, it sends a message of unfinished business. Your brain doesn't fully relax. So ask yourself, what do I really need within arm's reach when I'm in bed? Chances are, it's not much. Lighting is another area where minimalism can transform the way you feel. Many people don't realize that the kind of light you use in the evening can either prepare your body for rest or keep you wired and restless. Bright overhead lights, especially the kind with a cool, bluish tone, can trick your body into thinking it's still daytime. On the other hand, a warm, soft light from a bedside lamp tells your brain, it's time to wind down. You don't need expensive gadgets to create that effect. Sometimes it's as simple as swapping the bulb in your lamp for a warmer one, or using a lampshade that softens the glow. That small change can make your entire bedroom feel more peaceful. Now, let's take a moment to talk about electronics in the bedroom. This is often the hardest habit to shift, but it's one of the most powerful. Many of us get used to watching TV in bed, scrolling through the phone, or even checking emails before we turn out the light. But the truth is, those glowing screens are like caffeine for your brain. They stimulate your eyes, keep your mind active, and interfere with your body's natural sleep signals. A minimalist bedroom gently pushes those distractions out. That might mean moving the TV to another room or creating a little charging station outside the bedroom door where your phone rests. Overnight, at first, you might feel like something's missing. But after a week or two, most people notice they fall asleep faster and sleep more deeply without those constant interruptions. Instead of ending the night with the noise of a TV show or the glow of a phone, you end it with quiet, darkness, and rest. And that shift alone can be life-changing. Another thing to consider is the rhythm of your bedroom. A minimalist space is not just about what's inside the room, it's about how it feels when you walk in and how easy it is to maintain. Many of us know the frustration of cleaning up, only to see clutter creep back in a few days later. That's why simplicity matters. When you own fewer things in the bedroom, you spend less time tidying and more time enjoying the calm. It's much easier to make the bed when you only have the essentials on it. It's quicker to dust when there aren't dozens of little trinkets on every surface. Minimalism isn't just about aesthetics. It's about freeing up your energy so the space works for you, instead of you working for the space. I want to share a story that really brings this idea to life. A gentleman in his late 60s told me he had struggled with insomnia for years. His bedroom was filled with reminders of his old job filing cabinets, boxes of paperwork, and even a desk crammed in the corner. Every night, he would lie in bed and think about everything he hadn't finished. When he finally decided to create a more minimalist bedroom, he moved all the work-related items into another part of the house. At first, the room looked bare to him, almost too simple. But within a few weeks, he said it felt like a completely different world. He no longer associated bedtime with stress. Instead, he associated it with quiet, calm, and release. He told me he wished he had made that change 20 years earlier. That's the gift of a minimalist bedroom. It strips away the noise, visual, mental, and emotional, and gives you a space that supports what you really need at this stage in life. Not more tasks, not more distractions, but true rest. The beauty is that anyone can do it. And you don't have to do it all at once. Each small change, a cleared nightstand, a softer light, fewer pillows, no TV, adds up. And before long, you'll notice a difference in the way you sleep and the way you feel when you wake up. When you begin to see your bedroom as a place of peace rather than a place of storage or distraction, something remarkable happens. You start to look forward to sleep. Instead of dreading another restless night, you actually anticipate that moment of climbing into bed, turning off the light, and letting go of the day. That shift is what a minimalist bedroom is really about. It isn't just about the room itself. It's about giving yourself permission to rest, to recharge, and to wake up ready for life again. We've already talked about clearing clutter, choosing what really belongs, creating the right atmosphere, and focusing on your bed and lighting. But there are a few more important pieces that tie it all together and make your bedroom feel like a true sanctuary. One of those is temperature. As we get older, our bodies can become more sensitive to heat or cold at night. And it's no secret that the wrong temperature can ruin a good night's sleep. A minimalist approach helps here too. Instead of piling on multiple heavy blankets or crowding the room with space heaters or fans, think about one or two solutions that make the room consistently comfortable. Maybe that's a breathable cotton blanket in the summer and a cozy but lightweight duvet in the winter. Maybe it's simply keeping a fan or small heater you can adjust easily when needed. The key is to keep it simple and reliable, so you don't wake up in the middle of the night sweating or shivering. Another piece that many people overlook is the role of scent. Our sense of smell is closely tied to memory and emotion, and it can either relax us or keep us on edge. A bedroom filled with musty odors or heavy artificial sprays is not exactly soothing. But something subtle, like a fresh breeze from an open window or a drop of lavender oil on a cotton ball, can make the room feel calm and inviting. You don't need to buy expensive products. Often the simplest option is the best. Freshly washed sheets, clean air, and a touch of a calming scent can work wonders. Again, the idea is to make every part of the room support rest instead of fighting against it. And let's not forget about personal touches. Minimalism doesn't mean stripping away all personality or joy. In fact, the right personal touches are what transform a room from plain to peaceful. Maybe it's one framed photo of a happy moment in your life, place where you can see it from bed. Maybe it's a quilt your grandmother made, folded neatly at the end of the mattress. Or maybe it's a single piece of art on the wall that makes you smile every time you look at it. The difference is that instead of being surrounded by dozens of objects competing for your attention, you choose just a few that truly matter. That way, when your eyes land on them, they bring comfort instead of chaos. Now, you might be wondering, what about the things I feel guilty letting go of? The souvenirs, the old gifts, the objects tied to memories? That's a question almost everyone faces. And here's something to consider. Your memories live in you, not in the objects. Keeping one meaningful item can honor the memory, but keeping dozens can weigh you down. A minimalist bedroom doesn't ask you to forget your past. It simply asks you to choose which reminders help you feel at peace right now. Many people find that once they let go of the extra stuff, the memories themselves actually feel more alive, not less. The space becomes freer, and so does the heart. One woman I knew held on to every greeting card she'd ever been given. They were stacked in boxes under her bed, filling the space until she could barely vacuum around them. She was afraid that letting them go would mean losing the love behind them. But when she finally went through the cards, she chose a small handful of the most meaningful ones and placed them in a little album she could actually enjoy. The rest she recycled. She told me afterward she didn't feel loss. She felt relief. For the first time in years, she could breathe in her bedroom. That's what minimalism is about. Not losing, but gaining back your peace of mind. And as you create this calmer environment, you'll notice something else. Your routines become simpler, too. Making the bed in the morning takes less than a minute when it's just sheets, a blanket, and a couple of pillows. Cleaning the room becomes quicker because there's less to dust, less to pick up, less to manage. That simplicity frees up your time and your energy for the things you actually enjoy. At 60, 70, or beyond, your time is precious. Why spend it wrestling with clutter when you could spend it walking in the garden, reading a book, or enjoying a conversation with someone you love? It's also worth saying that creating a minimalist bedroom isn't about perfection. You don't need to buy brand new furniture or paint the walls a trendy color. You don't need to match the photos you see in magazines. Your minimalist bedroom is your space, and it should reflect your life, your needs, and your comfort. For some, that might mean keeping a rocking chair in the corner because it brings back good memories. For others, it might mean a completely bare floor so they can move around easily. Minimalism is not a set of rigid rules, it's a gentle guide that says, keep what brings peace, let go of what doesn't. And the best part? These changes don't just improve your sleep, they improve how you feel during the day. 2. When you wake up after a full night of rest, your body feels stronger, your mind feels clearer, and your mood feels lighter. Small aches don't seem as heavy. Conversations feel easier. Life looks brighter. Better sleep has been linked to improved memory, healthier weight, stronger immunity, and even longer life. So when you take steps to make your bedroom a sanctuary, you're not just decorating, you're investing in your health and happiness for the years ahead. So, if you've been feeling restless at night, or if your bedroom feels more like a catch-all space than a haven, this is your invitation to begin. Start small, one step at a time, and celebrate each change. Clear off a surface. Put away the extras. Choose one item you truly love and let it shine. Before long, you'll notice how different the room feels. You'll notice how different you feel. And remember this. It's never too late to create a peaceful, minimalist bedroom. Whether you're 60, 70, or 85, you deserve rest. You deserve a space that welcomes you into comfort at the end of every day. And you absolutely deserve to wake up in the morning feeling renewed, ready to live fully, and grateful for the simple beauty around you. So tonight, when you step into your bedroom, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, does this space invite me to rest? If the answer is no, then know that you have the power to change it. Little by little, you can transform your bedroom into the sanctuary you've always needed. And when you do, your nights will be calmer, your mornings brighter, and your days more joyful. That's the gift of simplicity. That's the gift of minimalism. If this video has inspired you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's the first change you'd like to make in your own bedroom? Your ideas and experiences could encourage someone else who's watching right now. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips on living simply, joyfully, and with peace at any age. Here's to your health, your happiness, and your peaceful night's sleep. One of the most beautiful things about creating a minimalist bedroom is how it quietly changes not just the room, but your whole relationship with rest. It teaches you that sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity, and it's something you can nurture by shaping your environment. Over time, this awareness often spills into other parts of life. You start to notice how clutter in the living room, the kitchen, or even your daily schedule weighs you down. And slowly, you find yourself drawn to simplicity in more areas, because you felt the peace it brings at night. Your bedroom becomes a teacher, reminding you that less really can mean more calm, more space, and more joy. But let's stay with the bedroom for a moment. Think about the rituals that happen there. A minimalist bedroom isn't only about what you see. It's also about what you do. For many, the nighttime routine involves brushing teeth, changing clothes, and then collapsing into bed while the television is still buzzing or the phone is glowing. But imagine instead a quieter, simpler ritual. Maybe you dim the lights, put on soft music, stretch for a few minutes, or sit on the edge of the bed and breathe deeply. In a clutter-free space, those little rituals take on more power. There's no mess distracting you, no piles of belongings pulling at your attention. The room itself supports the habit of winding down. It almost feels like the walls and the air are cooperating with you, saying, yes, it's time to rest. Morning rituals can change, too. In a cluttered bedroom, waking up might feel overwhelming: clothes on the chair, stacks of paper, a messy bed that feels like a chore before the day even begins. But in a minimalist bedroom, making the bed takes less than a minute. You can open the curtains, let the morning light spill in, and feel a sense of accomplishment before you even brush your teeth. That sets the tone for the whole day. It tells you, life doesn't have to be complicated. Peace can start here, right in this room. Some people worry that minimalism feels too empty, too bare. They imagine a cold, lifeless space. But the truth is, a minimalist bedroom can be one of the warmest, most inviting rooms in the house because everything in it serves a purpose and everything in it brings comfort. Instead of being surrounded by dozens of objects you don't really use, you're surrounded by just enough to feel supported and cared for. That kind of intentionality brings warmth. A simple lamp with a warm glow, a soft blanket folded neatly, a single photograph that makes your heart swell. Those are the things that create true coziness. Not the clutter, not the extras, the chosen few. And here's something else worth remembering. a minimalist bedroom can also make life easier as you age. Many people over 60 start to think about safety, avoiding falls, making sure the room is easy to move around in at night, and reducing obstacles. A cluttered bedroom is full of trip hazards. Shoes kicked off in the dark, cords running across the floor, stacks of magazines waiting by the bed. Those can all be dangerous. By keeping the room simple, you're not just creating peace, you're creating safety. You're designing a space that works with your body as it changes, that supports you rather than challenges you. And that's a powerful form of self-care. Let's not overlook the emotional impact either. Many of us carry decades of belongings, and sometimes those belongings carry stories that aren't always happy. Maybe it's a gift from someone who hurt you, or a project you never finished, or an object tied to regrets. When those things sit in your bedroom, they don't stay quiet. They whisper to you at night. They remind you of pain, guilt, or unfinished business. A minimalist bedroom invites you to release those reminders. It tells you, you don't have to carry everything with you into the night. You can let go. You can sleep lighter. That emotional weight lifting is just as important as the physical clutter leaving. I remember talking to a man in his 70s who had kept his late wife's belongings in their bedroom for years. After she passed, every night, he would see her things and feel grief wash over him. He felt guilty about moving them, as if it meant forgetting her. But when he finally chose to put most of her things in a special trunk, keeping only one framed photo on the nightstand, something shifted. He said he still felt her presence, but in a gentler way. The room no longer overwhelmed him with loss. Instead, it comforted him with love. That's what intentional simplicity can do. It changes the way you carry memories, turning them from burdens into blessings. Of course, every person's version of a minimalist bedroom will look different. For some, it might mean removing almost everything and embracing the open space. For others, it might simply mean cutting the clutter in half and keeping the rest tidy. There is no single right way. What matters most is how the room feels to you. When you walk in, does your body relax? Do you feel lighter, calmer, more at ease? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right path. Minimalism isn't a competition or a strict set of rules. It's a practice of listening to yourself and letting the room reflect your needs. And here's something important. You don't have to do it alone. Sometimes sorting through belongings can feel daunting, especially if you've lived in the same space for decades. Ask a friend, a family member, or even a grandchild to help. Often, the conversations that happen during the process are just as valuable as the decluttering itself. You share stories, you laugh, you remember together. And little by little, the room becomes lighter. What once felt like a burden becomes a bonding experience. As we wrap up this journey into creating a minimalist bedroom, I want to leave you with one thought. Rest is not selfish. In fact, it's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and the people you love. When you sleep well, you're kinder, more energetic, more patient, and more present. A minimalist bedroom is simply a tool that helps you reach that rest more easily. It's not about perfection. It's about peace. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to close your eyes at night and wake up in the morning with gratitude. So tonight, when you walk into your bedroom, take a moment to look around with fresh eyes. Imagine what it could be if it were just a little simpler, a little calmer, a little more supportive of the rest you deserve. And then take one small step toward that vision. Maybe it's clearing a surface. Maybe it's removing one item that no longer serves you. Maybe it's choosing one thing you love and letting it stand out. Step by step, change will come. And before you know it, your bedroom will be more than just a place to sleep. It will be a sanctuary, a refuge, a gentle reminder every night that you are worthy of rest, peace, and joy. So here's to you, and here's to the bedroom that will cradle your nights and brighten your days. May it be simple, may it be peaceful, and may it bring you the deep, restorative sleep that your body and soul deserve.